Hello and welcome to Sports Update on Trust TV. I am Emmanuel Fashimi. We'll be looking at some stories on the show this evening, and we'll be looking at Team Nigeria, how they are preparing for the Paris 2024 Olympic Games. We are counting down 8 days to the big one in France, where we have Team Nigeria also that will be showcasing how good we are. But we'll start with this story coming in from the Ministry of Sport, where they have announced the cash prize for gold medalists, $5,000 for gold medalists, and then for the silver we have $3,000, and for bronze they will be going home with $2,000 respectively for all of the winners, gold, silver, and bronze medals at the Paris 2024 Olympic Games, where from the sports ministry, I think is a laudable one to some extent. $5,000 for gold medalists, $3,000 for silver, and $2,000 for bronze. If you look at the whole thing, also just this Paris 2024 Olympic Games, the athletics body, the International Athletics Federation, will also be paying prize money, cash prize, to the various winners, to gold medalists at the Paris 2024 Olympic Games. For the very first time, we will be seeing that athletics body will be the first body to actually start paying athletes for winning medals at the games. So, in Nigeria, if let's assume Favour Philly, Toby Amuson winning their respective races gold, they will collect $5,000 from Nigeria and also collect money from the athletics body. I have Abba Michael joining me on the show this evening. Michael, welcome to Sport Update on Trust TV this evening. We continue looking at Team Nigerian's preparation, but from the ministry also, $5,000 for gold medalists, $3,000 for silver, and $2,000 for bronze. Okay. All right, Michael, can you hear me? Okay, go ahead.
Okay, I think you were talking about the $5,000, right?
Yes, of course.
Okay. Of course, like I said in the morning, when you have, for instance, a certain Toby Amusan, whom you are expecting to be a favorite to win an Olympic gold medal in the 100-meter hurdles, and all you are promising her is $5,000, and she's going against a Nugent that won the Jamaican trials, who is expecting to win $50,000, or a Russell, a 21-year-old Russell who won the NCAA and is ready to get $50,000 at the finish line. Who do you expect to get there first? We know that Toby Amusan has the world record in 12.12 seconds, but these two young 20-year-olds were able to run a 12.21 in their Olympic trials in US and Jamaica respectively. So when $50,000 is there for two other people and $5,000 is there for Toby Amusan, do you expect psychologically Toby Amusan to usurp these young, vibrant ladies who are also going for $50,000? The motivation level is definitely going to be different. Not to discredit the promises, but I think they need to up it by now. Since Rio Olympics, it has been $5,000 to clinch an Olympic gold. And so I expect it to step it up to at least a $20,000, and then a $15,000 for a silver and a $10,000 for bronze. Knowing fully well that the Nigerian economy is not favorable. Is it because a dollar is 1,500? Please, they need to step it up. $5,000 is not enough. If you really want these athletes to be motivated, let them win $20,000 and know that they will never be poor again.
Okay, I know that they'll never be poor again. But Michael, from the athletics body, the World Athletics Body, they will also be paying gold medalists at this event, becoming the first federation to do that. If our athletes collect $5,000, they win gold, there's still something for them to collect from the athletics body. Don't you think that is another motivation that they will be looking at?
Yes, I mean, the motivation will even be more when you are able to get perhaps an area record or a world record I think a world record fee is still pegged at $100,000.
Yes.
So yeah, definitely there are other motivations, no doubt. But I just wanted the nation to grow when it comes to packages for athletes. That's all I'm clamoring for. Definitely there are other packages waiting. I remember Toby Amusan's earnings in Eugene World Championship, where she broke the world record, was running close to 200 million when you convert it to naira. So no doubt there are incentives to be won. But I'm just saying from the national angle, I mean, we need to do more. We need to do better. $5,000 is for a poor country. We are not a poor country. We can afford much more than that. And so at least I expect a $20,000, something that will ginger these athletes to give their best. If I know that I can get $20,000, trust me, my training will be double.
Yes, of course, your training will be double. But in general, quickly, we are looking at our preparation. Uh, I had somebody on the show. If you want to look at the level of preparation for Team Nigeria prior to the Paris 2024 Olympic Games, what is your take? Have we been able to prepare very well? We might not get to that 100%, but from your own perspective, how do you rate our preparation for these games?
Okay. For me,
Go ahead.
our preparation, I will give them, if on a scale of 10, I will give them a 5/10.
Okay.
A 5/10, not because they've been lackadaisical, but it's a 5/10 because it's only when it's an Olympic year that we start strategizing, taking care of the athletes. You know, the way you take care of an egg. It's only when it's an Olympic year that's when we start preparations. If you look at the history of other nations that win up to 100 gold medals, you would see that preparation starts much, much earlier. They take care of the athletes even 2 years before the Olympics. You don't wait for the Olympic year to start preparation. I don't blame the Enoh, the minister. I don't blame him at all. It's the situation he finds himself. I think it's not been more than a year in that position since he came on board. So we definitely, it's not his fault. But so far the preparations has been fair. I think it has been fair so far. Being my younger brother is the coach of the badminton national team. I think they're in Germany now before they proceed to Paris. So far so good. From the feelers we've been getting, I think the athletes have been well taken care of. I believe the motivation level will be different. You know, in previously, athletes have been owed months before, months after, training allowance, camp allowance. They don't get paid. They come back and start complaining and crying. Even when the money comes, the federation of the different sports hold it down, tie it down the way our politicians are holding tying monies down. But that has been the case. But I believe this year the story will be different. That's what I want to believe. Enoh is truly, truly one of a kind, and we must give him credit, because I believe no athlete will come back home and say they have not paid me.
Okay, no athlete will come back home and say they have not paid me. And talking about that, the minister is also talking about that all of the athletes will get what is due to them, and the 100 million given by the House of Rep. The minister has also said that money will be utilized for the purpose why it was given, and every athlete will get what is due to them, their entitlement, and that is what we'll be looking at. And also the federal government will be supporting the Team Nigeria with their own support, what they are supposed to do. 12 billion we're hearing that will be used for to at least to prosecute the Paris 2024 Olympic Games. All right, let's leave that story. And Team Nigeria continues, and the Tigers will be taking on Germany in one of those friendlies later on tonight and preparing themselves. They will also play Serbia and then Japan in that order before the Olympic Games starts proper. All of the teams probably this week will be landing in Paris, France. So, all right, let's leave that story. Come back to the region, talking about Wafubi Champions League qualification now. We already know that's for the women now. We already know that Edo Queens will be representing Nigeria in the region, where they have to play with other countries to get the ticket from the region to participate at the women's CAF Women's Champions League. The likes of Abidjan, Cote d'Ivoire will be hosting. We have Inter the Abidjan of Cote d'Ivoire, the host team. We have the likes of Hasaka's Ladies of Ghana, Burkina Faso's AO Etincelle Du. We have Novi FC of Benin Republic, and then ASGNN of Niger Republic, and ASCO FC of Togo. All of these teams will be slugging it out to pick the sole ticket for the CAF Women's Champions League, the WAFUB qualification. Michael, Edo Queens will be representing us. Now it's going to be the third team that will be representing us in the region, and then probably if they get the ticket, they will play at the CAF Women's Champions League. Our first team that went there was Rivers Angels.
Okay, yes, definitely we cannot but wish them the best. I mean, when it comes to the female football event, the WAFUB, I want to believe that Edo Queens have what it takes. Coach Adiku is doing a great job. I see them clinching that ticket. When you look at the organization, you know it's well, I mean, properly structured. I mean, the players, they look boisterous and ready. But I want to encourage the management of the Edo Queens to do their best to motivate the players in the best way possible. I mean, give them all the treats they need just to ensure that they are in the right condition physically, I mean, mentally and otherwise. All this should be factored in as these ladies prepare. We want to see them clinch that sole ticket, and I see them doing that, knowing that they have arguably the best coach in the league.
Yes, arguably the best coach in the league. That is what it is. But as it stands right now for Edo Queens, who will be supporting them, praying they get that ticket from the region, and probably get that from the region to represent the region at the CAF Women's Champions League. Rivers Angels was the first team. They did not do well. They crashed out from the group stage in the CAF, the maiden edition of CAF Women's Champions League. Bayelsa Queens got there. They were the second team to represent the region, and Nigeria, they got to the bronze medal game, and then they won the bronze medal, and then now we're hoping that Bayelsa Edo Queens at least emulate what Bayelsa Queens did and probably surpass that and win the CAF Women's Champions League. Mamelodi Sundowns of South Africa team, that's their women's team, are the title holders. All right, let's leave that story. Still, let's go straight to the continent. Well, this is not good at all for us, but it is what it is. Academy Warriors are coming in from the sports ministry. They will be using the Abuja Stadium, that is Abiola National Stadium here in Abuja, to prosecute their CAF Confederations Cup home games. Michael, it's a shame that we just have, because we looked at this story yesterday. CAF is coming to inspect 4 stadiums in Nigeria, but from the ministry right now, they are saying Academy Warriors would be using the MKO Abiola National Stadium here to prosecute their continental home games.
Yes, I mean, it's rather unfortunate. I see it as both teams playing away at the same time. I mean, simultaneously. So the Academy, they have not a home game to play, but an away and then another away to play. It is that bad. That's what happens when a nation is plagued by crisis that continues unabated without any solution. This is the results. This is the type of results when there is internal crisis, inability to resolve this pestilence, and I'll call it an epidemic. Permit me to use some adjectives to describe how I feel right now for the fact that the players will have to go all the way to Moshood Abiola Stadium. However, I think it's time to allow the El Kanemi players get used to the MK Abiola turf. I know many of them have had opportunity to play there in the past, but I expect the management of the El Kanemi to ensure that the players get that place early internalize and incorporate that stadium into their mainstream, and they should assume they are in Meduguri whenever they get to MK Abiola Stadium. I think that's the only way they can psychologically turn that fortress into a home of theirs, to give them the edge. But I must say, kudos to El Kanemi Warriors. It's good to see them hog the headlines again after a long time.
Yes, after a long time, they defeated Abia Warriors in the 2024 President FA Cup right there at the Unicon Stadium in Lagos, and they picked the ticket to represent the country in the CAF Confederations Cup. So they will be using Abuja Stadium. Let's pray and hope that when the CAF inspecting team comes around, they will actually come. They will be coming to inspect 4 stadia in the country already. It is only Uyo, that is Godswill Akpabio International Stadium in Uyo, that has actually met the conditions, that have met the conditions of the CAF inspection team. So let's see if Abuja Stadium will also meet that condition, and if Ekanemu Warriors can use it to prosecute their continental games. All right, let's leave the country and go straight to Europe this evening and quickly look at some transfers and some news concerning Nigerian players playing their trade in abroad. But this time around, well, it's not what really, it's not becoming something of worry for me, and also I believe for the player himself. Taiwo Awoniyi to miss Nottingham Forest preseason training. Preseason, they'll be going for preseason in Spain, but this time around it has been confirmed that he's out of Nottingham Forest preseason training in Spain. Towards the ending of last season, he also got injured and he couldn't play quite a number of games for Nottingham Forest. Michael, this is a player I respect so much.
Yes, I mean, it's rather unfortunate when a player becomes plagued by injuries. I mean, before you know it, he fades out of the mind of the fans. I remember we really wanted to have the best of him in the last AFCON. We couldn't because of that same nagging injury. He looks physically imposing. His physical attributes are appealing, but it's unfortunate that he seems like his limbs are like Neymar of Brazil. Every little thing he breaks down, and now, despite the fact that he had just few appearances in the last season, here we are again being hit with an unpleasant news of his inability to participate in the forthcoming preseason. I mean, this is not a good one for him. It's just that sometimes some players are like that, injury prone. It is not their making. It's just being unfortunate. But we can only but wish him the best. We wish him quick recovery. We hope to see him back within the next 2 months. And I pray that this healing is facilitated and fast-tracked so that we can have Taiwo Awoniyi again. He's one of the best players in the Super Eagles, but we won't know because it's difficult to have him fully healthy all the time. But I pray that his doctors will do better. If he needs to change medics, I think he should better do that, because that's an important player for not just Nottingham Forest, but the Super Eagles.
Yes, for the Super Eagles also, if he needs to change his medics, I think that would be a very good advice coming in from Abba Michael. All right, let's leave that story still on EPL, but this time around, one team in London is looking to bring a player back to London. That is West Ham United, keen on Al-Ittihad midfielder N'Golo Kante. This guy was caught back into the French national team, and he did so well, winning man of the match back-to-back during the Euro 2024 with the Le Bleu. But for West Ham United, they want to bring him back to London. So they are keen on signing him from Al-Ittihad in Saudi Arabia.
I mean, it sounds very funny to the ears. I mean, I think West Ham will need to empty their banks to be able to bring a player of this stature. Rather, players on exodus to the Saudi League. I don't know how they intend to bring such a player back to the English League when everybody is going to Saudi to go and make money. I don't know if West Ham have the financial powers, the wherewithal to pay the wages of such a top class midfielder who once upon a time was a Chelsea standout. I think they may just be joking. I don't see the feasibility of this because how much will Al Ittihad, sell this player? In the same Al Ittihad, you have top players from Europe that are playing there. So that is another Europe in Saudi. So West Ham should please look elsewhere. That's my candid advice.
Okay, West Ham should please look elsewhere. The price at the region, I think they are placing 20 million. That is the 20 million pounds. That is the region of the fee. But you know what it is to bring a player from the Middle East back to Europe. All right, let's leave that story. Still talking transfers. This time around, let's go straight to Manchester. Now let's leave London and go straight to Manchester. Manchester United still in race. To sign PSG midfielder Manuel Ugarte. This guy was with Uruguay during the Copa America 2024. Man U is looking to beef up their midfield. We also know that the Saudi big boys are sniffing around Bruno Fernandes. So Man U want to make sure they really have a backup plan in case, because these players can be funny at any time.
Yes, it's a very strategic move by Man United. The whole team has been over-reliant on Bruno Fernandes, and I think they need to take some weight off his shoulders. He's been carrying this team for quite a while, and he needs a little breather, and I think this move will do just that so that we can have a healthy and a revamped Bruno Fernandes with not so much at stake for him to do when it comes to charting the midfield as a maestro that he is. I think for the first time I can see Man United making the right move at the right time. This is exactly what they should be doing. Of Uruguay, it's unfortunate they had somehow a fairy tale run, but it had to be cut short because Colombia and Argentina found their way to the finals. But I think they have solid players in that Uruguay squad. I saw Suarez during the Copa America. I say, wow, I remember his teeth. I don't remember his goals. I remember him biting like an animal in those days, especially the 2010 World Cup where Ghana couldn't get to the semis. That was on a lighter note.
Yes, of course, that was on a lighter note for Ugarte, Manuel Ugarte. He might just become a Manchester United player come next season. All right, let's take the last one on the show because we are out of time. Chelsea to reward striker Cole Palmer with wage increment. I think it's a good one. This young man was the second highest goal scorer in the English Premier League behind Erling Haaland last season. Fantastic player. Also in Euro, we saw what he did with the Three Lions. And if definitely there's a pay rise for him coming from Chelsea management, I think it's not out of place, Michael. It's not out of place, if in my own opinion.
Yes, it's not out of place. When you look at a Chelsea that was capitulating, a Chelsea that was sinking, but a certain Cole Palmer who came all the way from City was able to bring them out and take their head from being submerged in the murky waters. Towards the end of the season, we saw Chelsea building momentum, winning games, almost getting, I think they've even got into the Euro spot. It shows that Cole Palmer's 20 goals or 21 goals was able to do a lot. We saw him they just concluded Euros. Spain was about to sink England completely when he was able to, respite a goal down for the Three Lions. It's unfortunate that that last goal in the dying minute was able to sink the ship. Imagine that goal didn't come in, that winning goal. The English team would have probably been celebrating a Euro win as a result of penalty, courtesy of Cole Palmer's equalizer. So we must really give Chelsea kudos for that move. It is well deserved.
Yes, it is well deserved. All right, that is where we'll be leaving it on the show this evening. Michael, thanks for joining me on the show this evening, and we wish all Team Nigeria a good outing at the Paris Olympic Games.
Yeah, of course. Best of luck, Team Nigeria. And good evening and good night, Sports Senator.
All right, all right. That is it on the program. I am Emmanuel Fashemi. Say thanks for watching.